My name is Margaret Salmon. I'm an artist filmmaker. I live in Glasgow, but I was born in New York State. I studied photography at the School of Visual Arts, and then photography again at the Royal College of Art. And I'm known mostly for my films, however, and I shoot mostly on 16mm or 35mm film. I started filmmaking as a student when I was studying photography in New York on 16mm. So though it might seem really odd to students now, at the time that was the standard format and material that you would use if you wanted to learn about filmmaking. And also, I find the material really exciting to work with. It's very challenging. It's not forgiving. And it sets a whole framework through which I can make a film within that I find really exciting and interesting to work with. So I have a limited amount of film that I can shoot. That might be limited also based on the camera to amount of time per roll of film. So for instance, the films that you see in the show for DCA whole, each one of those was shot on 100-foot loads, which means essentially I had about 3 minutes per take, per load. Not per take, but per load. And then I'd have to reload the camera. So it forces a sort of economy of looking and an urgency of making that I find creates interesting results. So this is the first 16mm film that I've made for a couple of years now. The film 2 was working with couples that were found through a network of friends, mostly, who I sort of collaborated with in order to make this kind of document of this moment between all of us, where we explored how to transcribe or express physical love between two bodies, between two committed bodies. So I was only working with couples. And yeah, the monitor piece, which is called I, you, me, we, us, is about a relationship between two monitors and a sort of exchange between hand gestures, which once again were performed by people in Glasgow that I worked with. One was a mother, a 63-year-old mother, and her two sons, her two grown sons, and another was a couple, and also sort of including text. So there's a kind of dialogue between the hand gestures and the images which you see and the words and questions which are posed. And all of that revolves around forms of love. So thinking about love not necessarily as just romantic love, but also friendship, kinship, forms of care, how to express love, how to elicit love, and what makes a sort of healthy relationship in contemporary Britain, or what possibly could be a healthy relationship, what it might look like. The creative inspiration behind the show came very much from, well, my own life and personal experiences. So I'm 43 years old. I've learned a bit about relationships, a bit about love, and I need to learn more. And in some ways, this show was a way for me to do that. So to reach out and work with other people who are in relationships or who are interested in talking about what expressive love could be, or about their bodies, about the ways in which we can connect. And so working with committed couples, there was already a sense of intimacy and trust and respect that was apparent from from the start with my sort of discussions with these couples. And I think that shows in the film. And I think the ways in which they're able to relate to one another are very much a part of this commitment that they have, which, you know, elicits a vulnerability that is not necessarily so easy to obtain.